Hello guys, Brothers to Extreme here, and welcome back to another debunk video. So, last week I told you guys that I would be debunking Homelander vs. Insomniac Spider-Man. Last week I did DCU Superman vs. Movie Sonic. Now I'm going to do Homelander vs. Insomniac Spider-Man like I just stated earlier, like I promised. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, like the video to never miss a video, and actually comment down what I should debunk next. Link the video towards me in the comments. So, without further ado, let's do this.
Soldier Boy is able to fight Starlight and Billy Butcher. Maeve is able to fight Stormfront and, by extension, characters who scale to Stormfront like Kimiko. So pretty much every character in the verse just scales off of each other, with Homelander implied that at the very least in terms of combat speed he is the fastest, since whilst other superheroes in the verse are capable of reacting to light speed attacks, such as heat vision from Homelander and Butcher, or Starlight's light beams, that would put them in the massively hypersonic ranges, with Homelander presumably upscaling based off statements.
A couple of funny things here. This feat was actually calculated to 23% the speed of light, or relativistic. And another funny thing is that Homelander was barely trying against Soldier Boy, only towards the end of the fight. So he would be 6.75 times faster than him, at least. And another funny thing is that you kind of contradict yourself, since you give him absolutely hypersonic, but faster than light to Miles and Peter whenever it's their turn.
But now moving on to New York's famous web-slinger to see how he compares to Homelander in terms of stats. In the PS4 game, Peter was able to laughably outclass Shocker in stats.
Stats as in skills, tech, and range. Shocker is objectively stronger than Peter in terms of AP. Most likely because that a weakened Shocker was able to bring Peter down. Not only that, but he also knocks him down in this clip here.
Ace punch it is.
Now, I know what people are going to say, oh, but that's a weaker version, so he's weaker there. No, that's not a weaker version. That's a less experienced Peter. That doesn't mean he's stronger. That's a fucking headcanon. Let me give you a prime example that actually happens in one of the cutscenes. An inexperienced Peter from 8 years prior to the first game got fucking slammed by Kingpin. Yes, Kingpin was able to do this to him. Now, in the games, he does capture him. But the way he does this is using his range, skill, and technology to beat him, such as his web slinging. And I am even going to show you what happens to him when he actually tries to interact with him physically. Not only that, but he's also to grab a hold of him and Peter can't escape it until game mechanics come in. Then even funnier thing is that it's even verbatim stated by him that he can handle himself and he hasn't even started trying. How the heck is he gonna be this weak, bro? How is he this experienced but this weak? Sorry if it's been too long, but that's the whole reason why he's able to outclass these people, based on tech, range, and skill. Oh, and by the way, here's proof that Shocker's suit from before in this comic I'm showing here is weaker than the last.
This piece of the Shocker's original uniform showed me how to protect myself from his blasts. Of course, they always upgrade, don't they?
The advanced suit really grants Peter an edge in combat, since even with broken bones and fatigued,
I want to know the time frame to where it's stated he has broken bones, because I've been seeing a lot of people use this argument to fully upscale Peter, but they don't usually give me any context, so if you mind doing that, that would be a pleasure for me.
He was able to endure a battle with Vulture and Electro and actually come out on top.
Again, he beats them and goes up on top via skill, tech, and range. No physical AP at all. And the funny thing is that Electro was even stated to burn him out if it weren't for his overload on the energy he was getting. And by the way, I don't really think that Electro was weaker when they first fought. I think he just stays the same strength, you know? But if this is a weaker Electro, this is even worse for Peter.
This is impressive because Electro in the past alone was capable of generating 1 million volts, which was calculated to be around the town level ranges of power.
Whoever gave you this cropped radicalc, stop talking to them immediately. Why are you ratting this to town level if there's already a quantified and confirmed amount of energy he's outputting in this statement. 1 million volts is like building level. You can't upscale it via like the speed of lightning or like the amount of frames per second in the games. That's not how it works.
And that was Electro with worse tech, yet in the PS4 game, Peter in a weakened state can 1v2 Electro and Vulture and actually come out on top, even if it was a very stressful fight for him, confirming that Peter has surpassed anything he was previously capable of prior to the PS4 game, and also cementing the fact he should have town levels of scaling off of this, especially since in this fight, Electro forces Peter through a smokestack, which was calculated to be large building level, with Peter instantly recovering from it as if it was nothing. Peter was also able to fight the Rhino in the PS4 game, with it being implied that Peter just flat out won against Rhino.
Rift, be honest. Did you read your statement? It literally says that it took him a few weeks to recover from the first time he quote-unquote beat him. Which means he was severely damaged after he beat him. Which we do not know how he beat him in the first place.
Which is impressive because Rhino in the past, and indeed in the Miles Morales game, was capable of destroying multiple city blocks with almost no issue whatsoever.
Again, there's a lot of interpretations to find out how he actually destroyed him. Maybe he just destroyed one city block and the other one came toppling over. Who the hell knows?
In addition to being able to no-diff large building level explosions. And I think it's fair to scale Peter to his individual villains, since at the Raft, Peter was able to kind of hold his own against 5 of them at once, and he wasn't completely bamboozled until he was injected by Scorpion's toxin, with Miles in his solo game being capable of surviving the new form reactor after he absorbed all of its power. Based off of the statements of it destroying Harlem, it would only come out to around the large town level ranges of power.
I mean, I already calculated for you, so I'll give you this highball. The most you can get this feat as like city level plus using like the length of Harlem and the ground explosion formula.
However, this is a severe lowball when we factor in that new form energy would be capable of powering New York for the next 500 years, and when calculated, this would put the feat at city level. However, you can actually get the feat way higher than this, since Miles stated that the new form reactor was going to not just destroy Harlem on a surface level, however it was instead going to vaporize it, and when factoring in vaporization into the equation, this would put the feat closer to the large island level ranges of power.
Vaporizing all Harlem can just be in context for the fireball of the explosion, because a fireball and explosion can vaporize literally anything in its path or radius. We would actually need more specifications to why we should actually inherently think this is like based on vaporization destruction.
Made all the more impressive since Miles not only absorbs this power and endures his body containing it for an extended period of time,
it clearly shows him struggling. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
However, he also endures discharging this energy, and then endures a fall from the atmosphere, with Miles getting up and swinging off not long after. And I think it's safe to say that this large island level of scaling would also apply to Peter, since Miles is confirmed to get stronger in Spider-Man 2, as I stated, with Peter able to endure beatings from characters like Sandman and Venom, who are just flat out stronger than this stronger version of Miles. Especially since Sandman's new meta for his Sandstorm creation feat was put into the continental ranges of power.
What in the ever-living fuck are you talking about? It was calced to town level. Please show me your evidence.
With Peter able to endure multiple beatings from him.
I've already explained in this video that durability doesn't equal AP, but AP equals durability. So go watch that before you spread nonsense like this.
And with his AP out of the way, let's now talk about his speed. In the PS4 game with Broken Bones, Peter is consistently able to react to Electro's blasts. If we're to lowball these blasts and say that they're just lightning, this would put Peter's speed at around the hypersonic to massively hypersonic ranges.
It's almost like we have to go with that result since it's verbatim stated multiple times that it is lightning, even stated by him.
However, when factoring in the fact that his new harness allows Max to essentially become as close to pure energy as possible,
where did you get that headcanon? This isn't Jamie Foxx.
We can infer that he would potentially be firing blasts of electricity, which would be light speed, which would make Peter even closer to the relativistic ranges of speed. With a fatigued, weakened Peter also able to dodge Doc Ock's arms, with Otto stating that these arms would be capable of reacting in speeds of under a nanosecond.
Yeah, let's actually look at the statement, shall we? It says the neurotransmission speeds are under less than a nanosecond, which is not even in terms of their combat speed. It's rather just referring to the neurons that transfer the information towards them. Much like how neurons in the brain, we were able to think in less than 100 milliseconds, but humans are usually able to react in 200 milliseconds. You see how this works? And you need to objectively prove that Peter scales to the neurotransmissions, but you can't.
Which would put the arm's theoretical reaction speed at faster than light speeds, meaning that Peter being able to even slightly keep up with these arms would add on to the relativistic to even light speed levels of combat speed. And this is consistent since Peter at 100% in the Silver Linings DLC was capable of scaling to cyborg enhanced Hammerhead under the Olympus project, with Silver Sable implying that Hammerhead would dodge her experimental laser, with Peter needing to hold Hammerhead in place so that she was able to hit him with it, implying that Peter is able to fight a guy who could dodge a confirmed lightspeed laser.
I think people are getting more dumb as they continue to power skill without having any knowledge on anything at all, because it literally says in the statement that it's a plasma, canonically a plasma cannon, which isn't even anywhere near the speed of light. I swear sometimes people just can't read.
Within fairly close proximity. And keep in mind that Peter in Spider-Man 2 should be even faster than this, since Miles in his solo game was shown to be semi-relative to Peter in the Rhino fight, with Miles logically getting stronger in Spider-Man 2 and Peter scaling to this faster, more powerful version of Miles, meaning that Peter almost certainly surpassed his massively hypersonic to lightspeed ranges in the PS4 game in the sequel.
Overall, Peter should have fucking city level amounts of AP with like relativistic speeds at highball. How is that gonna work against someone who's large mountain level and also relativistic? I have multiple videos scaling Homelander. His live action self alone is about large mountain level and like relativistic with no rats. But anyway, absolutely no hate to the creator of that video. Go subscribe to him and me as well. That hurt my brain. I'll see you guys later. Peace.